And welcome everybody to another exciting night of Tech Thursday. I am your host, Akeem Sanders, and tonight we have Cable Bahamas Business Solutions in the host, as well as Limitless Life Coach in the person of Simone Bowe. We have a great discussion for you guys tonight. It's all about technology in the workplace. Yes, we've been working virtually, but we're still in the workplace, believe it or not. So on tonight at Tech Thursday, our guest from Cuba, Bahamas is Mr. Javier Bowe, and our esteemed guest who works in the HR department or the HR hemisphere. I'm so privileged to have her on the show to talk about technology in the workplace and how the transition has been from the brick and mortar into to the technology space. So you guys, welcome. Come on in, ask questions. Tonight we are giving away that phone that is sponsored by Cable Bahamas Business Solution, that Samsung phone. We just checked the register, it's like 56% registered. Out of those 56, one of you guys will be the lucky winner tonight, and we will do the drawing. Thank you once again. Again, ask your questions. Put the comments in the comment section so we can bring them up on the screen. We can get your questions addressed. And invite a friend. Share this video, invite a friend. Let's get this party started. And good night, good night, good night. Good night, Mr. Bowe. Good night, Simone Bowe. Yeah, hold on, y'all family? Y'all already there? What's going on?
Go and go, like use and go. Go and go. So you just follow the thing like that.
uh, Hold on, we have somebody commenting. Super Mike says he is first. Super Mike, welcome.
So that phone is mine.
Right. Joanne says hello. Thank you guys so much. Yes, we're streaming live from Facebook and YouTube. But before we get into our lovely guests, I know each of you guys are eager in knowing something personal about them, and so you know what's going to happen
Boy.
is our lightning round. So let's find out. Before we dive deep in, let's find out just a little peek of what these persons are, who you guys are watching, and I have the privilege of hosting this show. Have just a little bit about rate for our lightning round. All
Man,
right.
all this thunder and lightning.
Oh yeah. Simone.
I scared.
No man, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Okay.
All right, you ready? You ready, Simone?
Yes. I
All
think
right.
so.
You, you think so? All right, Simone.
Yeah, I think so.
You being in HR, you being a limitless life coach. Do you
Mm.
like chicken or pizza?
That's hard.
I know.
I like both of them.
Oh
But
no
I
no no
think
no!
I'll
Only
go
can be
pizza.
one. Okay
I
okay
can go
okay.
with
Pizza.
pizza. I can go with
All
pizza.
right all
Yeah.
right all right. Let me take some pressure off you and let's bring Javier. Javier, tea or Monster? Who? You say tea?
Yeah,
You so old people children, eh?
that's what.
Hold on. Javier. I can't hear you, Javier. Give me 1 minute. Let me check your
Oh, no, no,
volume.
man.
Oh, there you go. Now I get you. Yeah, I think you were saying tea.
I say two.
Why? Why tea? You know what? You're making no
What
sense. Let me
was the
bring.
answer and I didn't drink it, but with you.
All right, let me bring Simone. Simone, the last question, last question, last question. You being in HR, you being in HR, let's do with technology. Alive or the other people?
Oh, you asking me?
Oh, yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. But you know I gotta
yeah.
say a lie, right?
Bang. Javier. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. That was a whole lot of fun.
The setup.
Man, I apologize. Um, Super Mike said he's also a Bowe. Wow, this is powerful.
Ooh, all right. Oh yes. That's Mike. Hi, Mike.
This is
He is a
powerful.
boat.
This that's Michael. Yes, he is a
Yes.
Bowe. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so we're talking about technology in the workplace, and Simone, you being the HR specialist, you being the dealing with persons on a daily basis, how has or did technology affect the workplace?
Oh, tremendously. I mean, it has had a huge impact, both positively and negatively.
Mm-hmm.
And on the positive side, I would say that it has brought a lot of people together, especially where we may have had people working in different locations. And because of technology, being able to collaborate more, to be more involved in sessions and meetings and training and other things like that, it has allowed for a better appreciation of training
Mm-hmm.
and digitizing our services and the things that we would do in our businesses. And that's been a positive thing because it now improves the way that we do business.
Right.
On the negative side, I think, of course, there are the people who aren't as tech savvy, people who aren't as comfortable with technology, or just how quickly the changes have had to come into play. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really give people time to learn and understand and get in the groove of it, so to speak. So that I think has been a challenge. And then the sense of disconnect. So people who are accustomed to connecting face to face, now, it may have been exciting at the beginning, but now it's like overkill. Like I want to be able to do a face to face. I want to be able to attend a live event. I want to just see people. I want to get out of the house, that type of thing. Um, and then I think it has also been a bit of overwhelm. Some people have called it, I'm zoomed out, right? I mean, it's just this, I'm tired of these online meetings. Everything is online. It's just from morning till night. I know that that has been the case for me from like 7 this morning till now, so it,
Right.
it can be a bit overwhelming. Yeah, on the negative side.
Okay. All right. Let's
Mhm.
bring Javier in. Javier, from a Cable Bahamas standpoint, you being an employee of Cable Bahamas, you are in charge of, I think, all government accounts. You're the head of all government accounts. How has, go ahead. Uh, your volume is low. I don't know if you need to come up a little bit.
Okay, finish your question.
Said it. Sorry.
Okay, you finish your question. Sorry.
Oh, rephrase my question.
No,
Um.
finish it.
Finish,
Oh, finish.
finish your question.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. Yes. How has the experience been as an employee of Cable Bahamas? First of all, working during this pandemic, and then you, yes, the second part of the question, I turn like a damn journalist. Part two, right? Part two, the question is, how has it been for you in charge of all government accounts, assisting your Cable Bahamas, their clients, moving rapidly into this new digital world because of this pandemic?
As an employee of Civil Bonds, obviously we're a technology company, and I'm hoping you can hear me now.
Yes.
Um, okay, all right, good. So as an employee of Cable Bahamas, our CEO, I would say that he was forward thinking. So from February of this year, end of January, February of this year, he called a managers meeting and said to us guys, listen, it's not when or if, but if this pandemic is going to affect us, it's when. And so he had us working remotely from the beginning of February. So
Okay.
he started with your team because we don't necessarily need to be in the office to do our daily job function. So we were working remotely from February. And so when the Prime Minister shut down the country in March, that meant that over 500 staff of Cable Bahamas were now working remotely. He used us as the test, and then he went on to the remainder of the staff members, right? And so we were already working remotely, meaning technology allowed us to have our extensions on our phones. You could answer our calls regardless of where we were. So we had access to all of this beautiful technology. So we were able to function just as if we were in the office. So only our critical staff or our technicians who have to go on the road and service our customers are actually going into the office. So it was seamless for us because we were already doing it, right? For almost a month and a half prior to the emergency orders from the Prime Minister. So to answer your second part, Mr. Journalist, right? Um, with regards to how we were able to assist our customers. Um, I mentioned the fact about being able to use your extension on your phone and your laptop, and you're techie, so we can talk about the benefits of voice over IP technology, that kind of stuff. And the beauty of it is, we had customers that had on-base premise telephone systems, which means brick and mortar, right? And as a result of that, because they were not in office, they could not function, right? And so we were able to now go ahead and allow them to use the extensions on their phones, allow them SIP technology, which is voice over IP. And so they were able to benefit from what we had to offer, right? And it was beauty in motion. So we had offshore banks that, they needed to still be able to get those calls from their customers. And for them to do that, we needed to change from their brick and mortar PX to our on-base or hosted telephone solution, which allowed them not only to not have to change their numbers, to still have their customers call them and still be able to function if they were in office. And that's the beauty of technology. I mean, I could go on and on, but that's the answer to the journalist's two questions.
All right. Thank you so much. We have a question. I don't know if you guys, I just want to bring up all of the comments of persons who are participating virtually. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. We do appreciate it. We have a question on the floor, and the question is, what are some of the tools that persons are able to use to help them navigate this new norm? I don't know who want to take that, or
As the tech guru in the room, I will allow you to start and then I'll finish it off. Okay?
I really appreciate that. All right, so one of the tools is, and I wrote down a note while Simone was actually speaking, was engaging your employees with basic technology courses 101, right? How to utilize Microsoft Office, and Office in terms of PowerPoint,
Mm-hmm.
Office in terms of Microsoft Word, your emails, how to structure a proper email, because now these are your communication platforms that now you have to operate in the digital world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, let's say if you're a retail business and you may have to operate curbside, you want to utilize, let's say, some of the social media aspect of things. You want to be able now to structure a proper message to potential customers correctly. And so when you send if you utilize, let's say, WhatsApp, or you utilize Facebook Messenger to communicate with your customers virtually, you want to make sure that you have some key standard templates or standard messaging to say, good afternoon, how may I assist you today? Or not, hey, boy, or hey, you, how you doing? What you need? You know, that vehement slang and lingo and this, that, next thing. I think bringing it now, or the short text, SMT or LOL, or all that from a business standpoint, begin to train your employees and curve the, I want to call it, short text lingo into now that more professional approach, because now that person now is representing your business. Um, I don't know, Simone, if you want to hop on or share some
Yeah.
experiences with
I
it.
actually wanted to go back to Microsoft, as a matter of fact,
Sure.
because, um, and this was one of the benefits in our organization where we discovered a lot
Uh-huh.
more of the apps or the applications that Microsoft has to
Right.
help with collaboration, meetings, productivity, and all that sort of thing. So, aside from the Microsoft Office suite, which
Yeah.
is important, and really maximizing Outlook and Excel and Word and PowerPoint, as you mentioned, all of
Yeah.
those things. But they also have the Teams platform, which
Yep.
functions like Zoom.
Yeah.
And so it allows you to host meetings and events.
Mm-hmm.
I think the meetings can hold up to 250 people, events like up to 10,000 people or something really large like that. You can share the screen, you can do breakout groups, but I find that it's a bit more cumbersome to do breakouts in Teams than it is in Zoom.
Okay.
But you also have Shift, which is a scheduling and time tracking system.
Mm-hmm.
You also have Planner, which is like a project management system. So it allows people to collaborate on common
Different
projects
projects.
together.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that if people have that platform, that they can really maximize it and get the bang for the buck. And so that is what we ended up doing, just
Right.
really trying to utilize Teams more. And then you also have Stream. So when you record your meetings, the meeting is automatically uploaded into the Stream app. So anybody can go back and watch those recordings and so forth. So I found that those tools were really helpful during this time. But the training is key, as you mentioned. I mean, we could go on and on about that, but the training is critical to ensuring that people know how to use it and then how to engage and interact with customers and clients virtually. And you're right, we have to be mindful of our language, we have to be mindful of our tone, we have to be responsive, we have to be mindful that our customers are probably struggling to engage as well, and they want
Agreed.
answers. People are frustrated. And so we have to prepare our teams to be able to deal with um, customers in this environment as well.
Yeah, indeed. Javi, I don't know if you want to mention
I
anything.
want to jump in here, and from an HR perspective, I thought a comment was so important in terms of training. And I say that because um, when you invest in your people, you get the best out of it. And if you want them to be able to function and do what it is that they're supposed to be doing, you invest in them. And so when you talked about training, I thought it hit the nail on the head because this new environment that we're in, which is the new norm, it was new to everyone. Now, from a technology standpoint, um, the team would know that we've been doing virtual meetings forever and a day.
Yeah.
But now it's the actual new norm. This is the way you have to conduct your business. And so as a result of that, I mean, it now makes you understand that I don't have to see someone daily. I don't have to. I mean, I like to, but I don't have to. But at the end of the day, I can still conduct business with her. without actually being in the same room as us, right? And this is, we're now catching up to what the rest of the world has been doing forever and a day. So we've been meeting with people in China, we've been meeting with people in Australia for years without being in the same
Mm-hmm.
room as them. But now, because of
Mm-hmm.
the COVID, we now have to do it on a regular basis here locally in our own country. So that's the key part of it. And I think um, we have done a good job of adjusting and adapting. But the question I have for Simone is, what have you done or your company has done from a HR perspective in terms of procedures and what's the proper word I want? What have you changed in terms of how business is being done from a rules perspective and everything like that? What have you done?
Yeah, that's a great question because we've had to change, as I mentioned, to digitize and to automate some of the services. So a lot of the things that were manual previously have had to become online services, right? So um, HR, for instance, we've had to get an HRIS system so that now
Hold on,
employee.
Simone. Hold on, Simone. Hold on. HRIS. Please break that down for me. I know what my viewers, but I know what IS means. Yeah.
We have a team.
Information
Okay.
system, human resource information system. Sometimes people call it HRM too, or HRMS, in information management system, and so forth.
Cool.
So they are systems that allow you to, you can house all of your employee data in there. So everybody's employment information, their personal information, their job information, their training information, identification, if they have assets for the company. So if they've been issued a laptop, a phone, you can track the asset number. You can do recruitment through this. So you can do job postings. You can track applicants, communicate with applicants. You can get email alerts for people's birthdays, for their work anniversary. So all of that stuff has really helped to improve the function because it automated a lot of those things that we would have to go digging in a file for. Now all you have to do is to log into a system and access that information.
Indeed.
We're looking at digitizing files next and the possibility of doing that as well so that we have electronic copies of files that are cloud based, hint, 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 and also using
Like
OneDrive to.
All right. I think I had we had a question earlier. I think Jennifer said those are great. Those are great tools. Does Q Bahamas Business Solution offer anything like that? Javier, I'll allow you to take that.
so I was about to jump all over Simone, right? You know, because she mentioned something in reference to uh, you know, automating and um, digitizing files and everything, cloud backup. Listen, that's what we do. So what I'd like for you to know,
Really?
right,
We need
is
to
we can
talk
have a
then,
conversation.
Mr. Bowe.
Yeah, because that's what we do at Clear Obama Business Solution. So whereas
Okay.
you're talking about backup and ensuring that you have the ability to do what it is you need to do, let us take the stress off you. That's what we do.
Please.
Let the subject matter
Please.
experts handle it. We can provide cloud backup, we can provide it all, right? And so that's what we're here for, and that's what we want to do. So we can do that because we have the only two proper certified data centers here in the country. Right? We've withstood two Category 5 hurricanes. We've withstood Dorian,
Yes.
right? And so we have the ability also to take your data off island. right? Which we already have customers that are taking advantage of that. So if you want your data protected outside of the hurricane zone, outside of the Bahamas, we can do that as well. Lock their data
Okay.
elsewhere, and we can give you a proof of concept whereas you can test it to ensure it's working. So we ain't gonna charge you up front. We can let you test it, test drive the car, and then you can come back and say, you know what, I like that Lamborghini. Let me have it now. And
All
that's
right,
the legal.
we have another question coming in. Great, excellent, Javier, Simone. We didn't even know. We're having a discussion, and here, Obama's Business Solution is the all-in-one stop shop. All right, so we have a question: how do we as behemoths keep up to date with technology in the workplace, and what should we be doing on par with countries from a technology standpoint? This is a
Mhm.
very heavy question. Um, Simone, you want to take it, or you want me to take it first and then we tag there?
Well, I mean, my answer is simple, and you could go deeper. So I could start with the simple, and y'all tech people can take it from
There we
me.
go.
But I believe that we have to continue to remain current. There's something that we say in the learning and development world: upskilling and reskilling. Those are two very common terms that are being used right now of how we can continue to stay current. And it is by ensuring that we are exposing ourselves to what other people are doing in the world. We can't live in a box. We can't think that living in the Bahamas and we buy into all of our marketing hype. Yes, it's better in the Bahamas, but we need to be on par with what's happening around the world. Zoom for me was not new because I'm always interested in developing myself. So I was always participating in webinars or meetings or so forth where people were already using that platform. So for me, that was nothing to navigate. So if we're not curious and we're not interested in our personal and professional development, then we will continue to remain behind. When we attend conferences, it isn't just to spend our company's money, and to go to Walmart. We should be going to expose ourselves to see what other people are doing. When I go on these webinars, I want the information, but I'm also checking out their tech. I was at a conference today in Jamaica. Phenomenal presentation, but I was checking out the platform too. And so when I was checking the name of the organization, I went to their Instagram, I went to their website because I wanted to see who is this company that's providing this streaming service or whatever it was that they were providing for this, because it was good and I enjoyed what they were doing, and the differences in that. And so that's how you get exposed to see what's going on around the world. And then you research it, you request the demos. Most companies do it for free, and you get a feel to test drive it and see, does this fit for my organization? So from a layman's point of view, that's my answer to that question. So I will defer to the learned gentleman to take it further.
Simone, in all honesty, I think you hit the nail on the coffin. From a no, it's honestly because even though that this is a tech show, we want to be able to speak to everybody, for everybody to have understanding. And so, I mean, you just broke it down completely. I don't need to go into no technical conversations because, again, that's not the conversation of tonight. We just want to make sure persons are aware that these technologies exist, that the Bahamas is now living in a digital world. We spoke about it years ago, but now we are now forced to do it. But you hit the nail on the head with that. There's another question specifically for HR, and I think they say, what skills and titles have HR professionals are now seeking post COVID?
Yeah, this is a very hot topic right now in the HR community, because HR is one of those areas that has felt COVID a lot, right? I won't say the most because we have our frontline workers, and God bless them for what they're doing every day. But when you are dealing with organizations that have to pivot, you're dealing with people with high levels of uncertainty and anxiety and so forth, it has stretched a lot of HR professionals. And so, as far as skills are concerned, one that's very important is being strategic. So, typically and commonly, you would see HR professionals being what we call transactional, right? So that means I need a job letter, Miss. I need a job letter. You do the job letter. I need to produce a contract or whatever it is. I have a request. I fulfill it. That's the transactional side. Doing payroll, right? All of those things are the transactional sides of HR. But when
Right.
you look at the strategic side, this is where HR now has to operate like a business partner and what we would call a strategic business partner to the business. And this is prior to COVID. It is
Right.
only heightened in COVID. So HR can't be that department in an organization that is not fully aware of what a business has to deal with and being able to come with solutions to help the business to navigate. So it means that that HR professional has to be well versed in the law and some of these laws and policies. I know, Javier, you mentioned that was a part of your question. I don't think I responded to that. But a lot of policies and things are being written as we speak because we would have not had pandemic policies.
Right.
You know what I mean? We may have had things that relate to disaster preparedness, which really is just hurricane stuff. But do we have policies that relate to disaster management from this standpoint, like a pandemic or civil unrest or uh, a technology catastrophe where we may have a disaster and everything shuts down? Like there's so much that has to be written and created. So the HR professional has to be strategic, has to now start to rely on data. So before we may have been operating on feelings and
Right.
operating on, this is what I believe in my gut. Um, I think should happen, right?
Okay.
And so now we need to start doing research. So we
Yeah.
have had to do surveys, employee surveys,
Mm-hmm.
and finding out what's happening with staff. How are you feeling? How are you responding? How have you been adjusting? What is it? How have you been working from home? What has that experience been like? What do you feel about returning to work? And getting a sense of the pulse of the organization, and then being able to make data-driven decisions,
Right.
right? So I think that for the HR professional, of course, there are certifications out there that people can do that would help with enhancing the bodies of knowledge that's required.
Yes.
And I think that would be critical.
All right. So
I hope that answers the question.
I hope so. It does. I hope I do think it did. But if you want further clarification, Ty, let us know in the comment section so we'll be able to elaborate some more. But we now at the portion of the show where we highlight our sponsors for sponsoring tonight's show. Tonight's show is sponsored by Sounders Consultants. Sounders Consultants implement IT solutions that fit. If you're a business owner and you're looking to integrate some technology, be sure to give us a call. Tonight's show is also sponsored by Alive. Black Friday is coming up, people. Black Friday. I mean, I heard some sip with what they doing inside for Black Friday. Oh my God. I know how this curfew thing can work, but I'm monitoring it to see if I could be the first on the line. But yeah, I'm monitoring it. Black Friday, Alive. You guys don't want to miss it. Tonight's show is also sponsored by Bahamas IPTV and Communication Solution. Listen, if you want to binge watch some TV shows, be sure to give them a call. They have very affordable prices. Um, far none. 4K TV, 1080p TV. You guys give them a call if you feel like binge watching. You just had a long day and you want to binge watch. Be sure to give Bahamas IPTV and Communication Solution a call. And finally, last but not least, Cable Bahamas Business Solutions sponsored Tech Thursday tonight. All of your backup data solution, PBX cloud hosting solution. I think they have a meeting solution. Um, Whatever you need for your business, contact Cable Bahamas Business Solution. We have Mr. Javier Bowe on the show with us. So if you have some questions that relates to Cable Bahamas and their business solutions, give them a call. We use them as a tech company for our back end. And so again, with Tech Thursday, they ain't coming on unless we certify them. So Cable Bahamas Business Solution certified. You guys stop playing around and contact them today. All right. And we're back. All right. Great conversation. I don't see no more comments in the comment section. So I guess we could go ahead with the show. Um, I know we have a phone giveaway tonight.
Part of the question is about solutions and what we could offer. Um, Simone made some excellent comments in reference to policies and what she had to put in place uh, during this COVID pandemic. So she talked about the monitoring and the HRIS, or the HR information system that they put in place. But what also was key is that businesses are now monitoring what their staff are doing, even though they're working remotely. And part of that is that with working remotely, you now have to be logged into your laptop, as you know, you have to be answering your calls, you have to be responsive to your emails. And so that is a big part of what this new norm has has now put us in the forefront to do. And so employees have to adapt. And anytime there's chaos, there's opportunity. And so the opportunity now is for us to adapt to the changing world, because the world has already been doing this. I mean, we're just now catching up to what's been happening with the world. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, because that's a key point in terms of the employees understanding that productivity is still expected even though you're working from home. And so that's a key metric that most businesses are now looking at because it's important.
Right.
And
And
I
so,
think that's a very important point, Javier, and it actually will change how performance management happens in terms of how we now measure performance and reward systems, right? Like promotions and increases and bonuses and all of these things. When we get back to having those types of conversations, of course, it's kind of tight now. And so people, I think, um, don't have an expectation, I hope. But a lot of companies are not in that position to be able to offer those things now. But productivity is still the expectation. And for some people, they report that their workload has doubled or tripled because some people have been let go, and so the workload has increased, or the expectation is that you now have to provide the deliverables.
right.
I can't stand over you and watch you at your desk anymore, but I need to know that you are fulfilling deadlines and completing projects and tasks even as you are working at home.
Indeed.
So I think that has also shifted in the way we manage people in the virtual space.
All right. So Ty said your response did answer it. He said from a tech perspective, what tech skills are in demand right now? Um, I could take this. I could take that portion. So if we look around, a lot of persons looking to have websites created. They now need an e-commerce site. So obviously you now need a website. Obviously, you now need to host that website on the server. So K Obama's business solution, they have their cloud services. I'm sure they'll be able to host the website for you. You have coders. You have a lot of app development going on. You have a lot of networking going on in terms of making sure businesses are able to stay in contact with their employees. All that rides on a network infrastructure. Hope you guys are using Cable Bahamas network infrastructure for internet service providing because I mean that space is just out this world. I'm not just saying that. I mean, we test everybody, and then Cable Bahamas is far none. So you want to make sure now your employees are connected. You're able now to troubleshoot in a virtual environment. So you have to understand the networking aspect of things. Basic IT troubleshooting, trying to resolve, such as the A plus certification. Yeah, but it isn't in a high demand, but it's good to have. And then also project management, et cetera, et cetera. So those are some of the IT stuff that's in demand now. App development, web development, um, a whole lot of coding for a lot of integration, a lot of system solutions in terms of Simone would have mentioned HR, IS. You also have document to creating a document digitally. So you want to make sure that those are you have some solutions to provide just that. Um, you have a comment. Adapting is key, and yes, that is true, Simone. Avi, I don't know if you have anything to add or
So I wanted to add something very simple, and I think that was something that probably wasn't overlooked by in the comment just now, and it goes back to something that Simone would have mentioned. We're talking about self uh, improvement. So again, there is chaos, there's opportunity. So the question was, what kind of skill sets are now being sought after? Networking, ability to do networking from an IT perspective, the ability to manage uh, remotely hosted telephone system or something of that nature. And so these are skills that are in high demand in the IT field right now. So we're talking about cybersecurity, and that's a big thing. So we talk about $10, which has now been has just been approved by the government. We have our list of approved $10 merchants, and so when we look at it, the digital world is now really ramping up in the environment. So cybersecurity, networking, the ability to manage remotely, systems, that kind of stuff is key in the IT field. So Cisco certifications and CCNAs and the CCIEs, and I don't want to get into too much technical stuff, but those are the certifications that are in high demand. No,
yeah.
no, I'm you know, I mean, I get passionate when I start talking about this
Yes,
stuff
yes,
because
yes, indeed, indeed, indeed.
I'm not a techie like a team, but the moment if I'm selling something, I want to know about it. And so uh, when we talk about what's necessary, I dig deep into that kind of stuff because ultimately, when I'm talking to people like a game, I want to be able to answer when they ask a question,
Indeed.
and I like to dig into that kind of stuff. But those are the fields that are very important as far as the
Yeah,
IT world is concerned at this time.
yeah. We have another question coming in. What would be your advice to small businesses and more so entrepreneurs to make sure that they are staying up to date? Who want to take this?
So I'll take it, right? And so at the end of the day, as a business owner, the sole purpose to make money, keep your bottom line, right? So when it comes to things like IT and how to do things effectively, you should really be relying on the subject matter expert. So you heard a advertisement from the Standard Consulting Group. As a business owner, if I want to sell clothes, my job is to find the clothes and figure out how I'm going to sell it. The back end stuff in terms of how I'm going to use a point of sale, how I'm going to back up my data, all that kinds of stuff, I go to the subject matter expert. So I call in a standard consultant or Give a Bahamas Business Solutions and I say, hey, here's what I want to do. A Sanders consultant will then say, hey, you know what? Here's the best solution for you. Here's who we need to partner with to deliver on your mandate. So ultimately, I want to make sure the clothes that I bring in, I can track everything, right? Sell, I can make sure at the end of the day, I can ensure how much money I make, and that's the main thing. And so when we look at that, we want to ensure we're partnering with the right person to deliver on what it is that we're trying to do. And so when you don't know something, you go ahead and you find the persons that do know how to do it, and you ask them for help. That's the reality of it. That's the matter. You
And
go to the subject matter expert and you get help.
indeed, Javier. If you don't know where to go, again, the first step is to find an IT firm that is reputable, that have partners, certified partners, and strong backing, such as Science Consultants. We partner with Cable Bahamas. So if the customer is looking for a unique solution, I hop on the phone with Javier. Um, After hours. And I hope Javier is tracking this over time for answering my call after hours. Right, Simone, because that's important.
Hello.
Right? Just ensure that the client gets the best solution that is unique to their situation. Um, I want
I
everybody to.
think too, Akeem, though, if
Sure.
I could just say too, a part of staying up to date, I think people need to, going back to the whole professional development thing. So networking and partnering with subject matter experts
Yep.
is critical. And you network also by being a part of professional associations. So finding those groupings that you can be a part of, whether they are local organizations or online, where it may be a Facebook group or it may be a LinkedIn group. Get involved, get exposed to what other people are doing so that you can hear about other technologies and platforms that people are using. Put yourself in the mix. If it means that you have to get one of those certifications that Javier was talking about, then you need to figure out, well, who's offering those things locally or otherwise, and how can I obtain it? Build your skill set, build your network, and expose yourself to where the information may be.
Yeah, very true, Simone. And I almost goes to this next question. What is the first area of certification would you recommend for a beginner? Having very little knowledge of using computers, right? Um, I'll take this one. Sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot, Javier. So with that, the first thing is to identify which part of technology you want to get into. Do you want to get into the management stuff side of IT, or do you want to get into the technical side of IT? Um, do a self-assessment. Am I driven by problem solving, or am I driven by um, helping persons around the office answer with their troubleshooting needs in terms of from a business standpoint, in terms of how to structure a particular document, how to create a form, this and next thing. So identify what you feel is best. Some of the things that you could do is watch some YouTube videos, see exactly what's out there, see whether or not any of those interest you. If anything interests you, dig deeper, dive deeper into that, so you know exactly where's your passion. Technology is a huge field, and there is a spot for everybody inside this field. Sometimes there's overlaps, but you only could overlap if you understand the basics of technology. Um, so identify first which part of technology you want to get into. Do you want to get into web design? Do you want to get into coding? Do you want to get into networking? Do you want to get into voice solutions? Do you want to get into management? What aspect of technology that you want to get into? Um, if you want to discuss it some more, feel free to give me a call and we can discuss it. No fee. We have another question for Kim. How do I become a sponsor and get my business out there? heard the plugs about web design and app design. Super Mike, we can discuss this after the show. Not a problem. Um, yes, ask the experts. And I agree with Javier. When sourcing tech professionals, I believe that HR should be aware of necessary qualifications to ensure that they are hiring. Indeed. Ty says, agree with Kim, tech is a wide industry. Indeed. Indeed. And then, two, for businesses, not because everybody said that they have a or did a particular tech course means that they are certified in that course. So you have to be careful of that. Completing course is one thing. Becoming certified in that course is puts that particular individual in the right step inside their career path. So if you have an application that they complete a course very well. And then from a business standpoint, I would advise that, all right, what are your next steps in now becoming certified inside of this? How long would it take you to get certified? And then from there, you know exactly from a business standpoint whether or not the person is motivated, whether or not the person just is serious about their craft, and whether or not the value that they're bringing to the organization it equals to what is being offered. Simone?
Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree.
Okay, great. All right, so I don't know about you guys, but I know we promised persons that we're giving away a phone. Uh,
Woo!
so we
Our name's
have.
on there. I trying to
Oh,
see.
no, Simone, your name is not there. Hold on. Sorry. We have some more comments before we actually get to this. Hold on. I want to make sure I answer everybody. Simone says, not sure if this was asked before, but do you think that due to the pandemic, a lot of business realized the importance of technology in the workplace? The answer to that is yes. Do you think technology in the workplace in the future would be taken more seriously in the country, i.e., government agencies using online platforms, staff working remotely? I think all of that is yes. I was very impressed. I went to license my vehicle today using the cashless system at Fort Charlotte. Yeah, I wanted to look up, but other than that, it was pretty smooth. I'm very impressed. Yeah.
Yay!
Next question: Do you think the reason why a lot of business do not utilize technology in the workplace is because it's not budgeted like other expenses? The answer to that is yes. Technology is very expensive. A lot of companies tend to shy away from spending money on technology. One of the reasons for that being technology is ever changing. So when you purchase something today, there's an update 6 months later, and businesses will look at that as like, well, I just spent X amount of dollars on this yesterday, so we need to make sure that this continues to work. I'm not saying it's always the case, but technology is ever changing, and so what was good then, yesterday, won't be good today. If you could speak to the business that currently isn't utilizing technology in their company, what would be advice or recommendations to them? What avenues can they use to assist ease up business? That's that's a that's a show within itself. But
Tell them
Javier,
call
go.
Javier.
So,
Tell them call
I was
Javier. That's
asking,
all.
I was asking someone to take that one. No, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, so the thing about it is, the first question you ask the customer is, what do you stand to lose if your business is not functioning? So we put it in terms that they can understand. Whereas if my servers go down or my businesses cannot operate as a result of this pandemic, how much money did I lose? So when you start talking to business owners in terms of dollars and cents, they find a budget very quickly for something that wasn't previously budgeted or
indeed.
allocated. So you put it in terms that they can understand, and once you do that, then they come to the table and they say, okay, you know what? I really need this. Let's get it going. but to put it in terms that they can understand. When you're talking to an IT professional like yourself, you talk you talk bytes, megabytes, we talk different stuff. When we talk to the CEOs and CFOs, we talk about finances. How is it going to affect their business? What is it going to cost? How is it going to improve efficiency? So that's the kind of conversations we have. And so you put it in terms that they can quickly find and trust me.
Yeah.
Dory improved
Um,
it.
yeah. And Dorian proved it. This pandemic proved it. Some businesses thrived during this pandemic, and then some businesses struggled during this pandemic, all because some business had technology already integrated, some persons did not, and now they're trying to now catch up in terms of how now to um, adapt to this new norm with technology because they might have been afraid of it. They might have been used to writing down stuff in the old notebook and pen, you know. But now, due to social distancing, or you have to now do an inventory check at this and next, and you cannot physically be there. But if you have the information on the computer, then it makes it a whole lot easier. Um,
And there's the fair aspect too, Akeem. Like
there is,
we're comfortable with what we know.
indeed.
And so it's more challenging to get into something that I don't know or not comfortable with. Then you factor in cost, you factor in, how are we going to actually implement this? How long is it going to take? But you put all of that on one side of the coin. On the other side of the coin goes right back to what Javier said. What is it going to cost you if you don't? It's going to cost you your business.
Yeah,
Because if I can't interact with you electronically, if I can't make transactions with you electronically, then I'm going to go to the next guy that can. It's as
yeah,
simple as that.
yeah. Um, this question for you, Simone. How do HR professionals pick who they want to hire to be a part of a company? I mean, it doesn't relate to tech, but seeing as how they ask, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a common question because a
Hmm.
lot of times we don't get feedback when we don't get a job. So we always wonder, well, how did that person get the job or why didn't I?
Right,
But there are a lot of factors that go into selection. And one of them is experience, qualifications. Another important factor is personality, character, and organizational fit. So, do you fit in with the values and the culture of our organization? So, the session that I mentioned to you this morning that I was in Jamaica, the company is founded on what they call a vision of love, believe it or not. So their whole thing is based on love, mutual respect, being solution oriented, and all of these positive values. And so I asked the question of the CEO and the HR professional that did the presentation, how do you get businesses to buy into that? How do you find people to buy into that? And the first thing they said, when we are looking for staff, we are looking for people that share these same values and are going to help us to advance these values in the business. So there's also another saying that's very important to note, that people would rather train skill than character. I'm sorry, but rather hire character and
and train.
train for skill.
Mm.
So sometimes it isn't always the skill set, the experience. People are looking for people who are going to get along with the other people that work in the organization. See, there's a part of living with tech and thing right now with your
Right,
children coming in the shot.
right,
But people are looking for people who will organize and fit into an organization, who will gel with the people that are already there, who are passionate about what the company is passionate about, and who will add value. I always want to say that. It isn't just about how long you've been on a job. What is the value that you bring? And this is why COVID has revealed a lot of things like that for organizations. They're looking now at who is bringing value to the company, and the
Yeah.
people that will stay are the people who are the ones who have been able to pivot and who are the ones who are able to contribute to this new organization, this new normal.
Okay. So true. So um, I don't see no more. Hold on. We just got a comment that to say powerful character is vital. Yeah, yeah, indeed. It's now 9:01. This show was supposed to be 1 hour, but um, we're going to do the giveaway. We're supposed to do the giveaway about 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, but now never late than never. I'm going to now spin the wheel and see who is the lucky winner of the Samsung cell phone sponsored by Cable Bahamas Business Solution. You know this? Barbara May Young. Congratulations, Barbara May Young, for winning the Cable Bahamas Business Solution Samsung phone. Be sure to inbox us as soon as we're done, so we'll be able now to get your prize. Final words. Hold on, we have one more comment. I will make sure that our viewers, as they comment, we bring them on the screen. Um, okay, something. All right, it didn't work just now, but somebody said, "Oh yes, value is very important." Um, yeah. So final words. I think I would start off with the final words with this, and the reason for that is Tech Thursday was designed, Simone and Javier, to help behemoths navigate through this technology. And so we wanted to share tips. Well, we don't want to share, but we share tips, different ideas. We have different discussions. We bring on different experts onto the show to speak to everybody to try help them engage with with technology in general. And so we use this platform to try help persons interact with technology and not to be afraid of technology, because we realize a lot of persons are very comfortable with that. So that was my final words as relates to tonight's show. Javier?
If I didn't let someone go first, my Grammy would beat me. Ladies first.
Good. I just want to make sure me and you was on the same page.
Go ahead, Simone.
I just wanted to encourage everyone to embrace technology, because it's not the devil. It's not something that we should fear and run away from. It's a tool,
Yeah.
and like any tool, people can use it for good and they can use it for evil. And in this day and time, technology is nothing that is going to go away. It's here to stay, and we have to learn how to navigate it and implement it in our organizations and in our lives, so that we can be as effective as we can be. So make sure, as an HR professional, we always say, the people that you have to have in your network are your lawyer, your labor person,
Right, right, right.
and your finance person, and I would definitely add your IT professional. So
Indeed.
get connected with an IT professional that you can trust. Get
Yeah.
connected with business solutions with Javier Bowe and the other great members of the team there, and just get plugged in. No pun
That's it.
intended.
Yeah. Javier?
So, again, and thank you for having us on the show again. I think, again, the pandemic has shown us that, the importance of technology. And so I say that to say, as business owners, you already have enough to worry about outside of things that you're not familiar with. And the most important thing is surround yourself with subject matter experts that can help your business along. It may cost you $1 or two, but at the end of the day, the benefits of it will allow you now to take your business to the next level. So when we're talking about cloud solutions and hosted and security and that kind of stuff, contact us at Cable Bombers Business Solutions. We can help you take your business to the next level. And that's the most important thing. A conversation with you and let you know the benefits of what it is that we can do for you. And so we just want to help you succeed. And I always tell my customers when I meet with them, tell me what it's going to take to make you look good. So if I meet with a team, I'm going to say to them, listen, whatever your goal is or the project that you're working on, tell me what you need from us so I can help you meet your deadline. So I can now help you succeed. And that's what it is. All right. And so we're here, we're the experts. We can help your business succeed. So anything you need, contact us and we'll be sure to jump in and help.
All right, great. Thank you once again, panelists, for coming on Tech Thursday tonight. We really appreciate it. But I really want to thank our viewers, our virtual participators. You guys have been very engaging. I hope that I do believe that we answered everybody's question. We got to meet a lot of persons. We got to share a lot of nuggets, a lot of knowledge. We really appreciate it. We go live every Thursday at 8 o'clock, right here on Tech Thursday, to help you, help us become better persons as relates to technology and to answer any fears that you may have. So thank you guys so much for staying up late with us tonight. Everybody should be home anyway because it's curfew time. But anyway, that's another story. But if you guys, congratulations once again to Barbara May Young for winning the cell phone. Be sure to inbox us so we could arrange on collection. We'll be back next week, Thursday, with hopefully some new faces. But Javier, Bowe, and Simone Bowe, you guys are welcome to come back to the show at any time for us to talk on another topic or just even just have an open mic because we could also integrate live telephone calls on the show. So if you guys just want to sit back and talk, yeah, let's arrange that and make that happen. But thank you guys so much for attending tonight's show. We really appreciate it. Um, Hopefully we'll be able to see you guys next week Thursday, same time, same place, right there on Tech Thursday. Good night, everybody.